Hi, welcome to Wednesday Wellness with Dr. Mary Starr, the Total Wellness Doc and Mom. Let me just make sure that we're up and going here and share with my private group. Yay, we are. Good to know here. So I have a kind of a personal Wednesday Wellness to share with you today. I think you'll get a lot out of it. How many of you out there feel like or know that you've struggled with your hormones? Anybody? Hey, Regina. Okay, how many of you out there, maybe you're like me, you're in your 40s or when you got in your 30s or something, you've just felt more sluggish, you need more stimulants in the morning, more coffee, you notice you couldn't lose weight as easy, maybe after you had kids, something like that. How many of you out there find when you eat certain food or something like that, you really have like a reaction, right? Some people know that if they eat this kind of food, they break out or they can't breathe or they're I'm not talking about anaphylaxis or allergies, but just more sensitive to certain foods. Anybody? Okay. Well, Wednesday Wellness, every Wednesday we come to you with a different topic. Last Wednesday we had old Billy Bones here and we were talking about arthritis and just some of the different causes and why we have arthritis. This week we're going to talk about hormones and hormone health, and every week we have a sponsor or somebody I bring on. Well, actually not sponsors, no one pays me to do this, but all right, so this week it is Dr. Sherry Vinsek. Dr. Sherry Vinsek. I'm probably not saying her name right, but her website is drv.vitalhealth.com, and you might want to learn more about her as I share with you a little bit. Okay, so let's talk about health, and I want to share with you. Now, many of you know that I'm a trained chiropractor. I went to school to be a chiropractor, and while I was in chiropractic school, I found natural health care. I found natural wellness. I found certain products that I use and I have used for 20 plus years. You can see that beautiful diffuser back there. Essential oils being my main thing, and I market and sell essential oils, and I teach people about essential oils and wellness products, and I have for a long time. In fact, I see one of my buddies from chiropractic school is on, and she was my guinea pig many years ago of me using essential oils. Dr. Regina's here, so thanks, Dr. Regina, for joining us. Okay, so that's what I've done for a lot of years, and I've been very blessed to meet and learn from some amazingly smart people. Natural health, mostly in the natural health field, women's health field. And through the years, I've gained a lot of kind of pieces of the puzzle. So someone would come to me and they, way back when it's very popular to have something called fibromyalgia or irritable bowel or something like that. And I might have some more pieces of their puzzle for them that their traditional medical doctor wouldn't have. I didn't necessarily have something that would cure everything, but I definitely had a piece of the puzzle or a resource. Now, one of my main resources way back when for my really challenging clients was Dr. Sherry. And Dr. Sherry was in Central New York. She also was a trained chiropractor, but she really went off into studying natural wellness. Now, how many of you know someone who's like super, super smart, right? They know a lot. They can. That is Dr. Sherry. She continuously learns and grows in her profession. So she's really more like what we would call a functional medicine. So if you go to the traditional doctor, in fact, in my family recently had a person who was diagnosed or thought they had an autoimmune disorder. Thought they had MS. They thought she has been having mini strokes, all of these things. And when I looked at her lab results, it was like minimal. I'm like, this is all the lab results? No, well, I'm getting, a spinal tap and I'm getting this and I'm getting that. And I'm like, yeah, but don't you feel like they should look more deeper into what's going on in your blood and your hormones? No. They did a basic 3 thyroid panel like that. That was just so minimal and I couldn't believe it. So functional medicine if you think about that, or integrative medicine goes much more in depth, right? Much more in depth of what we're doing. And Dr. Sherry's someone who can really order the right lab tests for you, that she can direct you to some of those pieces as well to look at. So I want to share just a few things, and hopefully maybe we can host her with us some week about some things that I learned today. Now they're just little pieces of the puzzle, but hopefully these might help you, and maybe you want to go on. Okay, so I had I had my full blood work done. Let me share a little bit of this. So I had, the traditional lab court, and then she had me tested my thyroid. She tested my blood hormone. Blood serum is very different than some other types of hormones that you can test. CBC, which is like your red blood cells, white blood cells. What else did we study? Bilirubin, looking at the liver function. We looked at, she shared me something about BUN too that I'll share. Progenolone, my B12, DHEA, iodine, vitamin D, all of these things. Vitamin K, my leptin, like my insulin levels, all of these things. We even looked at things like enzymes, like amylase and lipase, and I said insulin already. And then my sex hormone binding globulins, all of these things. And for 2 hours, she went through and explained to me what I saw in these results. And blood tests are wonderful and they're good, but they don't give you the full picture of everything. And I'll tell you why. Then the other test that I had done, let me pull that up, was looking at my urine. So I basically was looking at, over the course of, I think it was 24 hours. I don't know how long it was. I think it was 12 hours from the time I woke up in the morning. I had to capture all my pee. I know it sounds gross, but I had to capture all my pee to see how my body, I guess, was metabolizing, how much hormones it was putting out. So it's very different than looking in your blood. It's looking at how your body is working like that. So we looked at my estrogens, my androgens like testosterone and DHEA, different type of DHEA, not the one that's actually in my progesterone, like my cortisols, all of that. And that's a company called RHEIN Consulting. Now she or your healthcare provider has to order that test. That was, I believe, only a couple $100, and that was very, very powerful for me, because if I had just gone by my blood work only showed that I had low vitamin D. Yeah, I've been telling you to take high doses of vitamin D because it's been proven to be very beneficial to ward off or help if you get COVID. And I wasn't good about it, right? And my vitamin D was pretty low. It was like half the number it was supposed to be. My BUN number was off too, which can be a sign of two things. She said, one, your body could be dehydrated, but many times women in their 40s and above don't have enough hydrochloric acid, right? Hydrochloric acid, that acid in our stomach that helps to break down things. And when we don't have a lot of that, we can get a lot of other issues. I won't talk about those today, but one of them that I have is a lot of like redness, like almost like rosacea, difficulty digesting, things like that. Okay, so let me keep going. Now, the interesting thing about my test is that I was coming off, or I was in a season of very high stress, right? Very, very high stress. So my blood test, my B12 was a little bit, my insulin, I was a little bit insulin resistant, which could also be because I was having a lot of stress at this time. But she was really surprised how my thyroid was doing great, right? My thyroid hormones, and actually my thyroid and some other tests were doing really great. And she was also surprised how good my C-reactive protein and homocysteine, and those are two indicators of inflammation in the body, but also how your blood vessel, heart disease precursors. Okay, does that make, just like, wow, she's really impressed by those numbers. And I think, I don't know, I can't say, but there is something that I have done consistently for many, many years. And for I have consistently been doing something for my health that I want to share with you, okay? And this is the first thing. And give me a shout out if this is something you also take on a daily basis. So this is called Ninja Red, and it's the goji berry. You've heard of the goji berry maybe? This is a particular goji berry called Lycium barbarum. It's been highly researched. We have pomegranate. We have some essential oils in here, Vitality food grade essential oils. What else? We have blueberry. And you know about blueberry, right? You know about those dark antioxidants. So this is a lot of antioxidants that I've been drinking every day. And I really think that might be part of why my C-reactive protein, my hormone, my thyroid is doing really good. The other thing that I have been doing, how many of you like wake up in the middle of the night or in the morning and you have like a dirty sock? You have feel like a dirty sock. Maybe you're snorers, maybe you just feel like you have a lot of inflammation, like you wake up in the morning, all of that. Well, I've been waking up in the middle of the night, and I'll share a little bit of why I've been doing that in a second. But all my friends and where I used to live had allergies, right? They said, oh, the allergies are terrible. I said, well, allergies is an inflammatory thing. If I can lower my inflammation, I can ward off having allergies. And I knew having lots of antioxidants is going to help me lower inflammation. But something that I've been doing in the middle of the night for almost a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, alkaline. I may have to switch over to my computer and do a part 2 here in a second. Okay, so alkaline is just simply a powder. Okay, it's like a powder. Some people feel like it's like an Alka-Seltzer. I don't know. All I know that I've been taking a teaspoon of this every night in water when I wake up in the middle of the night, and it helps me get into a deeper sleep. First of all, it helps me get back to sleep. It takes away that yucky sock in my mouth taste. I wake up feeling less achy. I feel better, and I really haven't had any allergies, right? I think, I'm not saying this is the cause why I don't. I'm saying because I have lowered the inflammation in my body that I'm feeling good. And when you lower inflammation, you're going to have a lower C-reactive protein. You're going to have a lower homocysteine. So those are 2 products that I think have really benefited me. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. 2 things that are very simple and easy to use. Oh, let me answer your question here. Okay, so alkaline comes in this nice 8-ounce, little container that you can do your own teaspoon. But what I really like, whether I travel or I'm just tired in the middle of the night, is these little 30-day pouches. So they come in 30 days, and you just twist it, pour it in your water, and you drink it. And I think it tastes good. I think it tastes like, what's the popular bubbly, lemon lime seltzer water? That's what I think it tastes like. But I really, really like that. I also find that if I have any little things in my mouth, like you bite the side of your mouth and it just gets irritated, or any mouth things, that I find that alkaline doing that during the day. You don't have to take it at night. You take it first thing in the morning. You can take it before you go to bed. Some people find they sleep better if they go to bed. Take it before bed. I just find, for me, the middle of the night works really good. And if you do feel like you're feeling extra acidic, you're feeling run down, taking it during the middle of the day, you're having any mouth whatever stuff, taking it in the middle of the day a couple times a day is always good as well. Okay, so 2 products I wanted to share about that. And okay, so right now I'm pretty heavy for me. I'm at my heaviest weight, and I'm just, I wouldn't say I've been struggling because I know what to do, but I haven't had the energy to do that. So she talked to me about vitamin D, I'll share this piece with you. So vitamin D, being so low, you could have something to do again with the insulin and things like that. But at our age, in our 40s, we really need our vitamin D and our vitamin K together. So that was something that she recommended, and she put me on 5,000 units a day for until we get our next test. She talked about exercise. I'm going to skip that. Maybe we'll talk about exercise a little bit later. But if you're struggling with your weight, I think that lifestyle change is very important, and I'm going to have to make some diet changes. Now, here's some interesting facts. Okay. So I was telling her I sometimes react a little bit with gluten, and she was sharing with me, and hopefully we can get it on because I'm not going to explain it as good as she did, but she was sharing that there's like a certain percentage of the population that have this certain gene that when we have gluten, it literally is leading to autoimmune disorders, brain stuff like Parkinson's. It can cause damage to the brain, like literally damaging the brain, like this certain population. Wow, I have a family member who has been having what they believe is autoimmune. They found these little white things on her brain that they think is stroke, right? The traditional doctors think are little mini strokes. I'm like, this is so interesting. Now, when you work with a healthcare practitioner, like I'm a chiropractor, I see everything in the natural realm, or you may work with a mold specialist. We all kind of like have our own hammer, right? We see things through a certain lens. But what I like about Dr. Sherry is she's just one of those super, super smart people that, she told me, we were talking about glutathione. She's like, there are 8,000 researched articles about the health benefits of glutathione. Like this isn't just we found this supplement helps this. Like, she knows her stuff so well. So I was just so impressed with that, with the hormones and stuff. When you go through a season in your life, like myself, and I know many of you have had seasons of high stress or trauma or a huge move, right? A move across the country. Maybe you lived in an RV for 12 months. Those things are pretty stressful on your body, and your body can take a long time to get better, even if it does. So in my 40s, I had a pretty stressful time when my husband had his accident, and there was months where life was totally different. And then I remember falling into a pretty serious depression, and then got out of that. But I have never felt fully back to normal, and I've been having irregular periods, and in my perimenopausal. So this is what we looked at, right? Is where am I at in my periods and what's going on? I've also had several miscarriages, 6 in fact. So we were just looking at what was going on. So we did this test and looking at a lot of the hormones, that Ryan test I was telling you about. And we saw, like, she even consulted with the owner and the doctor of this test, because my case was so unique that my hormones were so low, like my testosterone, like they couldn't understand why I was even still having a period. They're like, does she do certain essential oils? Does she take, like, what is she doing? And I kind of go back again to, I take this goji berry every day. I take this alkaline. I take my multigreen. I'm doing all these things to help my body stay young, not necessarily taking anything that's hormone related, but it's like I'm trying to supplement to what's going on. And I'm probably going to have to end this quickly, or maybe go on to this, but hopefully we can have Dr. Sherry share with this. But it was just really, really interesting how my thyroid was fine, but my testosterone, my ovaries weren't, but my liver is most likely not processing the hormones, right? So what little hormones I have, even if I tried to take a hormone supplement or a cream or something like that, if my liver isn't clean and doing its job, it can't take care of things, right? It really can't take care of things. So, and I've known I've had a congested liver for a long time. I worked in a lab where we would literally like pour out chemicals all the time and like not use gloves or, you know, mask or anything like that. I've known that, right? And I've been getting like little liver spots and things like that where I knew from my working with my own patients how their liver was getting congested. So as we age, our bodies are going to become more congested. 50%, I think it's 50 to 75% of most Americans have a liver that is not fully functioning. And I could go on and on about down that rabbit hole, but the point of it being is that if you are struggling right now, if you have low energy, if you feel exhausted, if you have to use stimulants to just get going in the morning or keep yourself going throughout the day, I would even suggest if you're like me and, you know, we basically live on good supplements and things like that, there still could be some underlying things going on. And, you know, it really comes back to, you know, starting with the lifestyle, starting with de-stressing. In fact, a girlfriend was telling me a couple weeks ago, she said, I was so stressed in my life that I would get these skin conditions like eczema, like just constantly itching my hands, and it would be raw and you know, and she had all this burden on her. And as soon as one of the main burdens left, her hands, they cleared up, right? So it kind of comes back to stress. You know, it kind of comes back to, am I taking care of myself or am I taking care of everybody else? Do I make time for myself to exercise and do the things I need? Do I make time for myself to make the foods or invest in, you know, something that can, like good foods that can be delivered even, right? There's all these deliverable food things now. Do I put in my budget, and women, I'm going to get after you right now because you're spending, I bet, hundreds of dollars on your kids every month or every few months for gymnastics, for all of these things that they take, soccer, softball, whatever it is, right? Dance. And how much are you spending on your health, right? You're doing that for your kids to maybe to stay sane, I don't know. But how much are you investing in your health? I want to say start small, but if you've gotten to the point where I am, where you're in your 40s, and you got a lot of weight gain, or even if you're in your 20s and 30s and you've just let your health go, it's going to take more money in the beginning, right? It's going to take more money in the beginning to invest to take care of you. Maybe it's getting a part-time job and getting a sitter, you know, or getting out of the house. Maybe it is making sure you get better sleep. Maybe it's investing in your Ninja Red, right? Every month, or your Alkaline. Maybe it's getting a beautiful diffuser and some essential oils so that you are de-stressing every day and getting a good night's sleep. I don't know. All I know is if you're like me and you've had some very stressful times in your life, maybe you're getting older and you're in your 40s, this does not mean that you have to go through menopause right now or you have to have these terrible systems. You were not meant to be like that. Or you're in your 60s and 70s and you're having terrible arthritis, or, you know, they're saying you've got some damage on your brain or things like that. There are solutions out there. I truly believe that. And the research that's coming out, it may not be mainstream with your doctor, right? It may not be mainstream that we now can discover not just gluten, but all the different things that are in like gluten and enzymes and things like that, and we can literally see where your body may be deficient or maybe where it would react. Where some people, they can, you know, be exposed to mold and they're just fine. But they have found that some people, like the percentage of the population, when they are exposed to mold, their body doesn't recognize it and doesn't know how to clear it out, so that they can be sick for weeks, right? And I think, I'm talking too much, but I think we even need to go down that road in terms of allergies. Why does somebody like struggle so much with allergies and another person not? I don't know. All I know is this was a phenomenal, and I could go on and on about Dr. Sherry's information and stuff like that as well. The lab test that I had, my insurance actually paid for that because we went through LabCorp. Not every state is a state that Dr. Sherry or integrative health practitioners can order tests for you, but there are some states that we can. I was in California at the time, and we did that, and it was worth it for me. It was several $100s that I invested in me, but now I know. Now I know. And now I've known I needed to eat better. I've known I've had to eliminate some things. I've known I'd have to do some, what we call HIIT workouts. I've known all of these things, but now I actually have a plan. I know why, I know what the results are going to be, and I know how to implement it, right? I know I need to do this for 2 weeks. Then I'm going to add this. And if I add this Progessence cream and I get any soreness or breast tenderness or things like that, I know my liver's not clean enough. So I've got to keep working on my liver and cleansing my liver to the time where my body can process hormones that I add to it or that it naturally makes, right? So I hope this was helpful for you. I think that your next step is to make that decision to say, okay, where am I at? Really, there's 3 types of people watching right now. The first person is saying, thanks, Mary. This was neat. This is interesting, but no thanks. I'm good. I'm all good. Whatever. And if that's you, thanks so much for watching. We appreciate you, and make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. The second type of person is saying, I want to know more. That Ninja Red or that alkaline, or maybe I need to get a consult with someone like Dr. Sherry or another integrative health specialist, Hans Hinterkopf, that I have recommended in the past too. I need to think about it though. I need to talk it over and stuff like that. And if that is you, that's great. I think really then your next step is to start with the basics, right? We do a great class on stress relief, and you get to hear a whole bunch of stories of how people use some very inexpensive natural ways to stay healthy. So that might be your next step, to get an invitation to one of our upcoming classes tomorrow at 6:30 Central Time is our next class. Or the third type of person is saying, yes, okay, I heard you talk about things that I need. I heard you talk about why I'm not losing weight. Yes, I've had some serious stressful times in my life. Yes, I am not understanding. If that is you, then I really think your next step, not only invest in you, invest in some your lifestyle, invest in some changes, and set aside, right? Set aside resources to take care of you, to fill your cup up. If you're that third type of person, I highly recommend you go over to Dr. Sherry's website. Let me tell you what it is again. It's DRV, Dr. V of vitalhealth.com, OFVITAL health.com. She is an incredibly, amazingly smart person who really could help you. And she's helped people who've had cancer. She's helped people, women is her primary focus, but she is a super smart person that really could help you get on track with your health. All right, God bless. Have a great Wednesday Wellness Day, and I hope that some of you will join me tomorrow at 6:30 to hear how you can decrease your stress coming this year, how you can earn some money for our Christmas cash. We talk about it, earn some money from Christmas cash, and also see how wellness associates are changing people's lives all over the world. All right, talk to you later.